The box contains no hard disk, so the hard disks are actually these 4U boxes above that, and I guess we only have one here. There's a few more over there, but the original content, of course, is stored in this smaller box, which is the disk box. That small box has 24 terabytes of content. So if the average movie is, let's just say 4 gigabytes, you would store 5,000 or more titles, movie titles in just one of these boxes. So a Netflix type of selection of 30,000 titles is 6 boxes like that. So in the entire Netflix catalog, right, including the video streaming part, would be just one rack. Which is unbelievable how small it is, and quite frankly also how inexpensive it becomes compared to previous years where this would have been a whole data. If you need more than 100,000 streams, you can put 10 of these and you get 1 million streams. So yes, it scales up with the more you buy. But the point is, this system here, of course, can handle high def no problem. Now you get if you go 4 times faster per stream, it would be 1/4 the number of streams, but they're still cost effective. Whereas competing systems barely can do a much smaller number of streams with low ref, and then if you go to high def, it would be 1/4 of those. So the streaming capacity enables much higher bandwidth. This was originally designed at Gilead. It's just when we came to Sundance, we focused on the Optron service to get the enterprise products out to market. But and there was a little more software work here, admittedly, than we initially anticipated. But here it is. It is a released product, and we have some partners that are testing this and selling this with us. We call it a streaming switch, but it's really a video server, right? It is a server. So we don't take an Ethernet packet and reroute it and switch it. What it has is it's a server with a whole bunch of 10 gig ports. So normally what you do is you have a switch, then a whole bunch of servers in the front, and then a whole bunch of things in the output. In this system, because we have so much output, you actually don't need the switch. It just outputs in parallel to all the ports. But it will normally go through a Nortel or Cisco gear that then goes into the Metro, and then on the Metro to the Gigabit and so on. So we don't do the distribution of the data. We just provide a native 10 gig port, optics, fully enabled, and we can send it right out the optics fiber to the next hop. But we don't do the switching of the actual packets all the way to the consumer. We're not in the business at all. We just provide the server portion. So it's actually better to call it. We always called it a stream switch, but it confused people. So let's just call it a streaming server. It is really a server. It just streams and streams and streams all the way. We put out IPTV packets. We don't actually care how it gets to the consumer. It could be DSL, it could be cable, it could be wireless, right? We just put out the IP packets. Now, Nortel, Cisco, Lucent, whatever, delivers these packets through their fiber network to the area, to the DSL line, to the customer. Sun for the last 10 years had various streaming software running on Spark servers and so on. The problem was they just don't scale. You get to a gigabit or 2 on a normal x64 server, and that's actually considered good. That's still up to 1,000 streams at 2 megabits per stream. And this is what Microsoft is doing, right? This general purpose hardware, just add software and you get so many streams. This is a more hardware-based approach that is 100 times faster per box, so it's a different level of cost performance. This costs $50, okay? So the point is
$50 for
capital cost to get it put in per stream, right?
Per stream.
So if the guy can rent 50 movies, the first 50 movies the system is paid for, and then it's basically pure margin for them. So the return on investment or the payback period is for this kind of system is actually measured in months, not even a year. Okay. Now there's of course the networking cost. I'm not talking about the other components, but purely the head-end portion here is a very short ROI. Okay. So because nobody would invest in this unless you can make solid dollars per month. And the real issue here is that it has to be cheap enough to the service provider to turn this on as a service, right? And then they pay an upfront cost to acquire the hardware, but they have the opportunity to get an ongoing revenue stream month by month by month to collect the royalties, right, of people using the system. Microsoft
Flash
is
server.
A software company that writes general purpose software running on general purpose hardware. Now this scales up to the point, but it doesn't scale up to hundreds of thousands of streams easily. They're not going to be in the hardware business, we would think, right? They've never been. They're doing Xbox or whatever. Right. They're not doing video server hardware. So the traditional video streaming companies are people like SeaChange, what used to be Encube, which is now part of Tandberg, I guess. Who did I forget here? Broadbus, which was acquired by Motorola. Right? It's companies that are less known in the industry, but they used to build special purpose servers with more disk than the other guy or more memory than the other guy to make streaming better. This is a whole step beyond that, right? But those would be suppliers to companies in the market today. And service providers like Akamai and what are they called, Limelight, that provide the video thing for YouTube, right? All they're doing is a whole bunch of conventional servers, spit out these tiny little video streams or other downloads we want to do, but it's not optimized for high-res video streaming. So even though they call it a video streaming service, it's really the little postage stamp thing on the screen, which is good for entertainment, but it's good for like random entertainment, but not for watching a movie, let's just say, right? For serious entertainment, meaning full screen, either standard or high definition. So and the hard thing is you have to be at the data rate, otherwise it doesn't work. So